This is Steffen Schmidt for InsiderIowa.com. Every once in a while we do an update on the 2012 presidential election, and of course we're still at a stage where the Republicans have to find candidates or put nominees up. People have to declare, and we have to go through the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary and so on. I saw an interesting story that I wanted to share with you. The chair of the Republican Party in New Hampshire said after a visit by 5 Republican wannabes to New Hampshire this past weekend that he was very disappointed and that he was hoping some serious adults would get involved and announce for candidacy for the Republican Party. I found that to be fairly surprising because party leaders normally praise all the candidates and say what a great bunch we have, and that anybody running on the Republican Party ticket can beat President Obama, and this is a great year. The fact that he essentially seemed disappointed is very revealing and reflects what a lot of people have been saying, and that is that there is a very wide team of people, very shallow in its credentials and in its appeal, that's floating around the country saying they want to be president. There are probably something like 15, maybe more, individuals who have said that they're thinking about running for president. Several have declared, several have exploratory committees. But the consensus is that no one is a front runner, that nobody at this point has enough poll numbers to really be declared a front runner. Actually, this fellow behind me here, Mike Huckabee, who was interested in running for president and won the Iowa caucuses in 2008, still does very well, even though he has not necessarily said he would run. He is not running right now. He is still working for Fox, and he would be the guy this time around again who would have the greatest appeal among especially conservative Republican caucus goers and primary voters. I did see another story I wanted to share with you, which is that some individuals who are very close to Huckabee said there was a buzz now going on that he is reconsidering, that he really thinks that maybe he will run, but that's not enough. If you're going to run, you have to actually run. You have to actually get a team ready and launch it and go out there and start competing. And so, if nothing else, what I can report to you is that from Iowa, from where we are right here, the 2012 presidential election is off to a very slow start. This is later than it normally is for a serious field of candidates to have declared and be actually out running. It is a very peculiar year because, as you know, we've talked about this before, Donald Trump represents a real disturbance. He's kind of like a hurricane blowing through. He is sapping the Republicans of all the public media attention. The news media is fascinated with him and his quirky and strange behavior, his obscenity-laced speech to a group of voters in Las Vegas and other things, and that is robbing the rest of the field of the Republicans from any kind of serious visibility. And so we'll see at what point Donald Trump decides not to run, which is what I think will happen, or if he decides to run, then it will be a hysterical Republican Party, I think, because most of the people that I know who are Republican Party leaders don't think Donald Trump can get elected president of the United States, and yet he has a lot of money. He has the ability to rob every other Republican potential from any kind of public attention because he is such a big, giant celebrity. And so this is an unusual, odd, and slow year for a party that wants to challenge the incumbent in the White House. And we still don't have a front runner. And I suspect that we may see the Iowa caucuses not pick a front runner. It'll go on to New Hampshire, and no front runner will have emerged by then. And it will slog out. And I sort of suspect that you'll see 3 or 4 people going to the Nevada primary and the South Carolina primary, maybe even going beyond that, because there is a lot of division in the Republican Party, and representatives of each of those divisions wants to be president, and so I think it's going to be a slugfest to see who can dominate and come out with sufficient poll numbers and also sufficient dollars and sufficient delegates to go to the Republican National Convention and get the nomination. I even think, and you'll hear this here first, I am the first person to say this anywhere in the United States. This thing could go to the Republican National Convention very easily and have something happen which has happened in the past, which is that nobody gets enough delegates to be nominated, and it has to go to the convention, and then there is all kinds of bartering and behind-the-scenes stuff going on at the National Convention, and then a candidate finally gets enough votes there to get the nomination of the party. I really seriously think that could happen in 2012. This is Steffen Schmidt for InsiderIowa.com.